Gingsburg might not outlive Trump's term, so the resistance has a brilliant idea. By Adam Casalino, Politics U.S. News from AdWorldNews.com. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg vowed to stay on for 5 more years, but the aging justice might not have that many years left. At age 90, she will still be retiring during President Donald Trump's time in office. However, members of the resistance have a plan that will keep her on the court for years to come. Cue the clown music. It's pretty much a done deal that Brett Kavanaugh will be our next Supreme Court justice. Liberals might wail in agony over the selection, but let's be honest, Kavanaugh will be a great member of the court. His list of accomplishments is unquestioned. He has a record of upholding our Constitution, and he is a man of integrity and generosity. What is there to complain about? Yes, Roe versus Wade will probably be overturned, but that's 40 years overdue. The pathetic leftists who still cling to abortion as some kind of women's rights issue are in the minority. Most Americans are ashamed that we kill our unborn children. The battle has already been won. Kavanaugh will be our next Supreme Court justice. That means the court will be overwhelmingly conservative. Another change in seats won't hurt or help the left any more than what's going on right now. But that's okay. Liberals are still very much concerned with the fate of Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat, as if that really mattered. The liberal justice is 85 years old. She doesn't have many years left. The smart thing for her to do, for her own sake, is to retire as soon as possible. Enjoy what years she has left among friends and family, but she has recently vowed that's not going to happen. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is something of a hero of the left, and unlike her colleague Anthony Kennedy, who recently announced his retirement and gave Donald Trump the chance to appoint a new Supreme Court justice, Ginsburg said she's going nowhere fast. "I'm now 85, Ginsburg said after a Sunday performance of the play The Originalist, about the late conservative Justice Anton Scalia, according to CNN. My senior colleague, Justice John Paul Stevens, he stepped down when he was 90, so I think I have about at least 5 more years, source Insider News. Make America like Texas. Ruth Bader Ginsburg plans to retire in 5 years when she's 90 because it's impossible to fire a government employee for sleeping on the job, #Monday. 5 more years? Really, lady? You can't stay awake for an entire State of the Union address. Maybe you should step down and let a younger whippersnapper in their 60s take over. It's obvious why she says this. As the left continues to lose their grip on the country, they are desperate to hold on to anything, and with Brett Kavanaugh taking over Justice Kennedy's swing vote, the Supreme Court's decision on issues has been decided for decades to come. Ginsburg staying on for 5 more years doesn't mean a thing. Plus, she's forgetting the fact that in 5 years, Trump will still be in office. I think it's wildly presumptuous of her or any Democrat to assume Trump won't win re-election. So a few liberals have had a suggestion: in order for Ginsburg to live a few more years until Trump leaves the White House, they will donate their organs. Is there a way to change my organ donor status to please give Ruth Bader Ginsburg dibs on these? Ruth Bader Ginsburg can have one of my kidneys. I'm not using it. I will literally give Ruth Bader Ginsburg years of my life. Yeah. Insider claims that these are all jokes, of course. It is Twitter, after all, a land where nothing true and the network censors what you say. But considering the lengths leftists have gone these days to resist and obstruct our president, I'm sure these libtards are totally serious. These are the same people who immediately protested the 2016 election the day after. They are the same people who rioted in Washington, D.C. in a pathetic attempt to stop the inauguration. They signed a petition and made death threats in order to stop the Electoral College from confirming Trump's victory. They continue to call conservatives Nazis, lie about the commander-in-chief, and call historic tax cuts for all Americans Armageddon. So yeah, I think they are willing to stuff Gingsburg with organs to keep her going. Perhaps they'll hook her up to a machine right there in the Supreme Court, so she'll be ruling on cases for decades to come. Maybe put her brain in a jar. Why not? She's a faded relic from a now defunct past. She has no power to obstruct today's conservative movement and is holding on to a seat that should go to a younger, more qualified judge. Hopefully, Gingsburg will see the light and step down in the coming year. Otherwise, nature might make the decision for her. Yeah, she is an old relic and she's staying on. Kavanaugh's going to get in. And what is she doing there? Nothing but wasting taxpayer dollars on her salary when she's asleep most of the time. I mean, really? Don't you see the woman is falling apart from years ago? Give it a rest, Gingsburg. And the liberal lunatics, let me ask you, if something happens to you, how many of those Democrats are going to step up and give anything up for you? It's time you start waking up, morons. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.